God sees it all. God is watching. What does God see? God sees Russian women having abortions to earn money. In former Soviet bloc countries, some clinics offer women $180 to abort their babies, and unscrupulous middlemen reap the profits. They can make up to $9,000 by selling just one aborted baby to cosmetic manufacturers to use in beauty treatments. God sees more than 1 million children living as street kids in the Philippines. They waste their precious lives sniffing glue. Others serve 8 to 15 customers a night as they sell their bodies in the Filipino sex trade. God sees the sex trade in Thailand generating revenues in excess of $4 billion. He sees a country where 400,000 children are involved in prostitution. Estimates suggest half are HIV positive. God sees a caste system in India that denies food, shelter, and medicine to tsunami survivors considered to be untouchables. This man-made system chains hundreds of millions of people into a life ruled by prejudice, discrimination, and contempt. Incredibly, a person from an upper caste would prefer to drink cow urine than to drink pure water from a cup touched by a person from a low caste. God sees good sacrificed for greed. If you're going to succeed in the beer business, you have to succeed in the Hispanic market, says the director of Hispanic Marketing, Molson Coors Brewing Company. Alcohol is the leading risk factor for death in Latin America, and 4 out of 10 Hispanic children start drinking before age 13. God sees everything, but He reaches people through His children. All of the world's injustices, pain, and suffering are symptoms of a world that doesn't know God. Our goal at Good News Productions International is to reach people and ultimately introduce viewers to Jesus, His love, and His answers to life's questions. To do this, Good News has developed outreach strategies and media productions in partnership with missionaries and others around the world. Together, we confront, challenge, and help effect God's change in every situation you've just seen, and many, many more. How can you make a difference? Partnership. Here are some exciting examples of what God has done as Christians partner with Good News Productions. After seeing Good News Productions' teen-oriented movie, Tough Choices, Miriam Mutembi, Uganda's Minister of Ethics and Integrity, said, "I'll see to it that every school-age child in this great country sees this movie." Uganda is the first country in the world to see AIDS decline at the same rate at which it had been ascending. In one predominantly Muslim region, Good News and its partners broadcast life-changing Christian programming. Since 9/11, churches in that area have grown an average of 300%. Despite relentless government persecution, the underground house church in China has grown to more than 75 million believers. Out of these believers, God is raising more than 100,000 battle-hardened missionaries. Their mission is to tear down the strongholds of Islam, Buddhism, and Hinduism in 52 nations. They're being trained in every method of outreach, including how to share the love of Christ to those who persecute them, even how to witness to their executioner. In partnership with some of their leaders, Good News has produced a video series to aid in prayer, recruitment, and education. In Asia, many small ethnic groups are seeing their language and their heritage disappear. Then Good News began producing professional recordings in several indigenous language and music styles. Today, some Buddhist monks that once encouraged their followers to harass Christians are now teaching respect for Christians because we're helping to preserve their culture. They're even playing Christian recordings in their monasteries. In Africa, where 71% of the population is under age 25, a music video made by Good News is one of the hottest videos played on secular stations. Our video challenges rampant immorality and directly testifies of the transforming power of Jesus. For more than 30 years, Good News Productions International has been working side by side with missionaries and local Christian leaders to create ways to reach the lost and to disciple leaders. It's a fantastic start, but with more than 6 billion people speaking over 7,000 languages, so much more needs to be done. Your partnership can make all the difference in the world. You are God's steward, holding His resources, resources that He's entrusted to you to see that His mission is fulfilled. Won't you consider partnering with God through Good News Productions International?
Much, if not most of the world lives in poverty and deception, daily facing the pain caused by bondage to false religions, the humiliation of prejudice and discrimination, and worst of all, seeing themselves and their children being exploited. At Good News Productions International, we know their plight is an opportunity to minister God's love. We've seen real long-term change comes by looking beyond the symptoms and confronting the underlying spiritual problem with God's perspective. If every person God has blessed would find even just one ministry to partner with, to diligently pray for and personally support out of their abundance, even $10 or $25 per month, this world would not be as hard to change as we may think. Please consider making Good News Productions your ministry to change the world. We are determined to be the best stewards we can be, but it takes more. It takes God's power released through prayer and financial resources released by His people to make an impact. What I am asking right now is that you pray and ask God if He wants you to make Good News Productions International the ministry through which you personally partner with Him to change the world.